A group of people braved the weather today to protest the Church of
Scientology.
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 The Church of Scientology.
Church of Scientology.
Tegen de Scientology-kerk.
Demonstrators gathered near the church's Chicago location
Along an East Dallas Road.
In Hollywood.
They're in Edmonton today.
Yelling at drivers in Orlando.
Downtown Clearwater around the Scientology buildings.
The streets of Uptown to rage against Scientology.
On Guadalupe Street.
In Champaign.
Including here in Atlanta.
Toronto today.
These are just the Canadian protests. There were similar events around the world today.
These are Australian members of Anonymous.
On Ethel Street in Birmingham.
Om een initiatief van Anonymous, een groep van zogenaamde hackers.
Ryan Young is live in DeKalb County with the latest on that. Ryan.
Yeah, it was quite dramatic out here. In fact, the protesters had masks on their face and large signs.
Wearing masks, the anonymous protesters are part of similar events happening in 14 countries.
Protesters say they were hiding their identity because they're afraid church members would try to retaliate.
Many masks to remain anonymous.
Many of them concealing their identities, but not their mission.
Jackie, we hear the protesters were wearing masks. Is that right?
Yeah, Melody, as bizarre as it sounds, these protesters say they have to hide their identity for their own protection.
Today, dozens of them donned masks in downtown Toronto in an unusual standoff over theology.
They call themselves Anonymous, a nameless mask-wearing internet group who took to Toronto's streets campaigning against the Church of Scientology.
Today, most are covered up because they claim to be afraid of what the church might do.
Howard. I'm Anon.
Howard.
Hey, Anonymous.
Is it really you?
It is me, I am Anonymous.
Anonymous has no leader. Its members are secret.
But its new opponent is not a single entity, and this is a new type of war.
Anonymous isn't anybody, and it's everybody.
They say the church is a business, not a religion.
The next stage in our protests right now is to get the tax-exempt status.
It's obviously a cult.
Try to silence former members through frivolous lawsuits.
They follow and stalk people, the critics, who even me.
The protesters call the church a cult and claim it controls members' lives.
What we're protesting is the organization behind it. It's a money-making organization that destroys people's lives, tears families apart.
Suppression of freedom of speech on the internet.
But Scientology says no. Unless you pay us money, unless you pay $3,000 for this or $3,500 for that, you're not going to be part of our church.
The main reason that I'm out here today is to protest against the church's treatment of children. We want to make sure that people are aware of what's going on within the Church of Scientology that they gloss over in their propaganda.
Well, the Church of Scientology, like many churches, doesn't pay certain taxes. Protesters say the church should be considered a business. We are protesting the tactics of the Church of Scientology, their suppression of information, their attempts to censor free speech and censor the internet, as well as their exploitation of their own members.
And by them denying people of that, of their basic right to freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of information, we just do not believe that is right.
Anyone who tries to remotely talk out against the church is either quieted or coerced into submitting to them.
Very oppressive with people's ability to practice their freedom of speech.
We want people to know. We're raising awareness, and that's one of our main tools trying to help fight Scientology.
But just go to whyaretheydead.net, and that'll help you learn about a lot of the people and the causes of their deaths and the suspicions around it.
Years ago, Scientology is not actually a church, it's a cult. The whole thing is about stealing money from the people who do not know the information about what it really is.
Well, to be truthful, there is word that there could well be Scientologists trying to infiltrate our group to try and actually find out what's going on and make us look bad to the press as well.
This is also about censorship, Scientology using the law and lawsuits to constantly try to censor people from speaking out against them.
We believe that there is a genuine threat, a genuine danger to individuals and to society in whole with churches like, or organizations like this.
The church declined our request for an interview today, but in a statement it calls the protesters cyber terrorists and say they're perpetuating hate crimes against the church. It says the group is anti-religion and anti-free speech.
Describing Anon as anti-free speech and anti-religious freedom.
The church responded to the global protest saying Anonymous is not just against the religion, but
It's also against the freedom of religion as well as the freedom of speech.
But this Scientologist has her own name for this group. I consider them cyber terrorists. With 2,000 members here in Toronto, Reverend Shank came out swinging in defense of the science-based religion known for its controversial methodology.
The hate crimes, they should be opposed. Hate crimes are hate crimes, no matter against who.
The Church of Scientology has responded to similar incidents by saying protesters are engaged in a hate crime.
The Church of Scientology issued this statement to Channel 2. Anonymous is a group of cyber terrorists who hide their identities behind masks.
Scientologists call their opponents cyber terrorists.
The Church of Scientology says Anonymous is a cyber terrorist group of religious bigots.
Well, in response, the Church of Scientology released a statement saying the protesting group is, quote, perpetrating religious hate crimes against churches of Scientology and individual Scientologists for no reason other than religious bigotry.
The church did release its own statement about what happened, calling the protesters a group of cyber terrorists who are doing nothing more than perpetrating religious hate crimes.
We are prominent, and for sure we have celebrities that are prominent, so they use that to make a name for themselves.
Members of the church said they were sorry the demonstrators would spend the day this way instead of doing something positive for the community.
In all honesty, I don't think these kids really know what they're here for. I'm sure there's instigators behind this that have rounded them up, and perhaps even paid them, who knows.
De hackersgroep Anonymous neemt het niet dat Scientology het publiek het zwijgen wil opleggen. De hackers pleiten voor een vrij internet.
The actions of Anonymous will not interrupt the normal activities of the church, servicing its parishioners and the local community, and we're in coordination with the police to minimise the negative impact of this terrorist group. Thank you very much.
They released a statement to
issue a statement.
In a statement, it calls the
released a statement.
Did release its own statement.
Released a statement.
I don't know what that's really about, but in terms of talking to the church, they said today church went fine and people showed up in numbers like usual. Reporting live in DeKalb County, Ryan Young, Channel 2 Action News.